That is Omar Barada's job. Omar's job is literally to find new money, bring in new sponsors, and raise our revenue. That's what he's good at. That's what he did for Barcelona. That's what he did for Manchester City. He found them new sponsors when they were a club that nobody gave a shit about. You want to create space and time if you're on the offensive side. If you're on the defending side, you want to take away all the space and all the time that you possibly can. The guy is the speed demon, and he's got a decent touch, and he's just fun to watch. He's exciting. He's very explosive. He's only 24 or 25 years old, so he's amazing. Like, it's the perfect age, perfect price, because he's free. So all we have to do is convince him to come. And his celebration, he was trying to do the Trump dance, and he did something like this when the Trump dance is like this. We all know the Trump dance is like this. I don't know why he did this, but anyway, Captain America. Rubin Amorim has started his job. Rubin Amorim has taken over the training sessions. MUTV's posting the videos. All of his fans are going crazy, watching every single move, every little thing he's doing. He's talking to Kobe Mainoo. He's got Luke Shaw playing left center back. Anthony's playing right wing back. They're doing cross-field passes to the wing backs and one-touch passes to the 10 role, who's then crossing it in for the striker. We're watching all these things in detail. We're seeing if we can pick up on things, and we're all getting crazy excited. What's up, YouTube? Thank you for clicking on another thumbnail. Thank you for joining me once again for another video. I am Semeex. This is Semeex Football, and do we have a lot to talk about today? Now, remember, on this channel, most of this stuff is my views, my opinions, and you might not agree with me, and if you don't, leave a comment down below. Like my guy, Nicholas Randonovich. I'm sorry if I murdered your name there. Like my guy Nicholas did on the last video, letting me know how much he disagrees with what I said about INEOS. And man, I wasn't trying to come off the way I did, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Nicholas, I hope you're watching. Thanks for joining again, and thanks for that comment, man. I really enjoy reading all your comments. I told you guys I read all the comments. And Fat Thor, if you're around, dude, Mazraoui's right there. He's right there. Fat Thor was around telling me like I should put a picture of Mazraoui up there, but because he's a little bit more valuable than the other two guys, he thinks. I said he's already up there. He's just behind my big head. That's why you guys can't see him. Let's get back to the video and the topic of the day. So the first thing I want to talk about, we're going to talk about some transfer targets a little bit later, like the thumbnail says, which I find very interesting. But the first thing I want to talk about is the rumor or the stories coming out that Manchester United is letting people know ahead of hand that we are not going to be spending money the way we used to spend money in transfer markets. We've done that every single year, so let's not sweat. Let's not sweat it out. Let's not panic. Let's not think about that much, because we've done that every single year. We've let people know that we're not going to spend. The only person who didn't do that was Ed Woodward, who went on TV, did an interview, and said that Manchester United can do things no other club can. Okay, great. Now you're going to have to pay $20 million more for every single player you want to buy, and that's what happened. That was the biggest mistake we ever made, or a CEO ever made. So now Manchester United leaks it out that we're not going to spend money. We say that all the time. We end up spending $250 to $300 million every single summer. So I am not worried. We at least spend $170 every single summer. So I am not worried. I'm not even thinking about that. That doesn't even cross my mind. And besides, if we're going to worry about spending money because we're not making enough money, what the hell did we hire Omar Barada for? That is Omar Barada's job. Omar's job is literally to find new money, bring in new sponsors, and raise our revenue. That's what he's good at. That's what he did for Barcelona. That's what he did for Manchester City. He found them new sponsors when they were a club that nobody gave a shit about, and he helped them grow their revenues. Now, that doesn't mean that Manchester City didn't also have like a back channel pipe coming from illegal revenues, but he still found them some legit ones, and I'm sure that's what he's going to do for us. I've got no worries about that, and I'm sure we're going to end up spending at least 150 to 200 million next summer, so let's not even make that a subject. But let's pretend that that is the reality of the situation. Can Amorim actually improve the players that we already have? And watching those training videos that we saw, we kind of get a little glimpse of how he works with people, what he's striving for, the intensity he's looking for. He'll just blow his whistle and say, we lost the ball, start running back, we lost the ball, even when we hadn't. There's one instance in that video where actually the team in possession made a pass. They didn't lose the ball, but he blew the whistle and made them pretend like they lost the ball, so they all had to start sprinting back. So it was interesting for me to see. I kind of see where he's going with some of these little things that he's implementing in his training sessions, and obviously there's a lot more that we didn't get to see. I'm sure there are things they're doing that wasn't in that 12-minute video that was posted. By the way, if you guys have any ideas about that video, post it in the comments. I would like to see what you saw that hasn't already been said in other YouTubers' videos. I watch a lot of YouTube content, so I've already heard things that have been said. I try my best not to repeat what I've heard on other YouTube videos. And like, if you want to talk about the formation and where players are playing, I just kind of mentioned it in the intro there, but I'm not going to talk about that. Somebody else has already done videos. Statman Dave, the Puppet Master, Muppeteers. I like his videos, man. I know I make fun. I just think it's a funny name. It's not, it's mocking through admiration or whatever you call it. Like, I'm not mocking because I don't like the guy. I think James is a cool guy. I watch all his videos. I'm good with that. I like everybody, dude. Brett, is it? Goldbridge. I like Goldbridge. Football Terrace. I forgot his name. I watch them. Saeed. Let's talk about Saeed. I make fun of Saeed all the time. I put up AF photos like this one. I put this stuff up because I watch their stuff, man. And I think I'm just, I don't know. This is my way of making fun or calling out. Even if I talk trash, I'm just doing it for jokes and laughs, dude. It's nothing serious. But anyways, Saeed, is so nice to see Saeed actually in a good mood, right? But because Saeed's been miserable for like over a year now, and I forgot how enjoyable it is to see Saeed in a good mood, man. Because I got to tell you, when Saeed's miserable, I don't even tune in much. I'm sorry, Saeed, if you are watching this, dude. You're probably not, because I don't get many views. But when you are miserable or when Saeed's miserable, I don't even tune in, man, because it's like I tune in for like 5 minutes and then I go away. It's the same thing. But when he's actually in a good mood, he's fun to watch. He's not addictive. He's like, he rubs off on you. What do you call it? Contagious. He's contagious, and that's always a good thing. I like people who put me in a good mood. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like KG. But anyways, that doesn't mean I agree with what these people say, though. I actually have a lot of my own ideas, my own thoughts, and my own theories as to what's going on behind the scenes. I'm not informed at all. I'm just telling you guys when logic makes sense and while logic doesn't. I happen to be somebody who works in the sports industry in a couple of different ways. I used to be in sports marketing when I was younger, in my 20s, and now I actually coach. I kind of have a little bit of, not a lot, but a little bit of like experience as to where this is all going. But anyways, let's get back to the subject at hand. I don't want to get sidetracked. Can Rubin Amorim improve what we already have in-house? Yes, I think he can improve what the team as it stands. Some of the examples, like when we saw that conversation he had with Mainu in that training video, and what he was doing there, no matter what he was saying and no matter what you saw, the whole point of what he was doing there is that he was teaching Mainu how to create space and time. Space and time are the most crucial things in a I was going to say in a midfielder, but actually in every position. If you want to be a good footballer or good at sports, period, in any team sport where there's defenders and offensive players and defensive players, you want to create space and time if you're on the offensive side. If you're on the defending side, you want to take away all the space and all the time that you possibly can. So he was teaching Mainu by making little fakes and little movements, little gestures, a little touch, how to receive a ball depending on where the defender is and stuff like that. At least that's what I thought he was doing. He was teaching him how to create space and time. What you find with us, with our team, is actually we lack play. We call him out. I do too. We say things like he doesn't have a good first touch. He made a bad pass. They don't know what to do with the ball. All these things that we say, it's because they always run out of space. Why does Scott McTominay look so good for Napoli? He has more space and time. Now, the English Premier League is the reason why it's such a tough league to play in is because it's a league where you don't get much space and time. Actually, space and time in the Premier League is very, very hard to come by. So knowing these little moves, these little maneuvers, how to feint one way, go another to receive a ball, how to touch a ball away from the defender just to buy yourself a second or a couple of feet of space or a couple of yards of space is invaluable. So if Rubin Amorim is the kind of coach that can get in there, work one-on-one with each individual and show them how to create space and time for themselves in the run of play, that is already going to make us a better team. That is already going to buy them that extra second or that extra yard so their passing looks better. We always complain about how bad our team is at possessing the ball, at passing the ball, the weight of the pass, and things of that nature. Well, it's usually because they don't have much space or time to relax, calm down, and make that pass. That doesn't mean, they slow it down and play super slow. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in the way you move, the way you position your body, how to receive a ball, you can create space and time. And Rubin Amorim I think, was doing exactly that with Menu. And I think that was just the beginnings of it. And it was just a first training session. I can only imagine that that's going to become more of a regular thing that he does with a lot of players, hopefully, to teach them how to receive a ball, how to turn while receiving a ball. It's something that Pep Guardiola does so well. What Pep is great at is actually setting up his teams and teaching them how to move and position themselves so that they always have more space and time than the opposing team. Pep's whole thing is positional play, which is basically structuring a team, or the main focus is spatial awareness, structuring team movement and ball circulation to dominate possession and basically control the entire game by making movements to create space and time so that they can keep the ball and move it around, and then exploit gaps that open up. Because when you're moving the ball around, circulating the ball, and you have space, again, the defender's jobs are to close down that space, take away that time from you. Well, that means every time you circulate the ball, the whole defense has to shift. And if one person is late in shifting, a gap opens up, and then your job is to exploit that gap. And that's what Pep's teams do so well when they're playing well. They exploit little mistakes or little delays in closing down space, and then they exploit gaps, and next thing you know, they're going right through the heart of your defense, and they create a chance. That's what Pep does so well. But he does that because you see him training individuals one by one, like one-on-one, to teach them how to create space, how to receive a ball, how to position their bodies, and things like that. And if that's what Rubin Amorim is going to do, that's fantastic. I've been waiting for a coach to come in. And we have talented players. I never said we don't have talented players. I just say we have talented players that underperform all the time, and I get annoyed by it when I see bad passing games where we're just making these horrible passes. Then I go put that guy on the bench or make sure he's working on his passing. And that's what I hope what Rubin Amorim is going to do. When he notices that somebody's missing a pass, Pep would do that. If somebody misses passes or makes bad passes, they would be sitting on the bench for I don't know how long until they fix their passing in training, and then he'll let them play again in a game. And it's right. That's the way you should do it. You shouldn't play favor. Oh, that guy's faster than this guy. Yeah, but the slow guy can pass the ball and move. I'd rather have the slow guy on the team than the guy who runs like crazy but then can't make a 5-yard pass. Anyways, Erik ten Hag's whole thing with us was transitional play. He wanted us to be the best transitional team in the Premier League or whatever. And that's well and good. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being counterattacking or being good at counterattacking and moving the ball fast up the field. I like transitional play. It's actually the most exciting moments in any game of football is in the transition and during a counterattack. And it's usually the kind of gameplay that creates a chance, if you will. Counterattacks usually create shots on goal, or at least shots or chances. So yes, I agree that we should be good at the transitional play, but Erik ten Hag, for me, felt like that's all we were good at, and anytime we possessed the ball for long periods of time or needed to circulate it, we would make some really dumb mistakes, and we'd have too many numbers forward, and we'd leave these big gaps behind, and the kinds of passes or dribbles that we would give away in those situations would just basically open us up for a counterattack by the other team, and our rest defense was just, they had no chance. There were just too many gaps, too many big gaps, and we'd get exposed. So playing a 3-back system is going to work. I don't want to talk. I'm trying not to talk about it, but I end up talking about it because I am very interested in the tactics. But again, I saw maybe 7 different YouTubers post pretty good videos about Rubin Amorim's tactics just in the last 24 hours. So I don't want to do one of those. So if you are interested, go watch Statman Dave's video or the Muppeteers video or AJ Analysis video. All these guys made videos speaking about different things, different aspects of what Rubin Amorim's tactics are. And all of them, I would say I agree. 80% of that content is stuff I agree with. But most of them have 10 or 20% where I'm like, I don't see that, or I don't believe that that's where he's going with it, or that's what his intentions are. So pick and choose what you want to believe, but most of the information is good. So it's all worth watching. It's all worth consuming. And these guys do a really good job on their YouTube channels. So I tell you guys to go look for them and find those videos. But here, what we're going to talk about is the importance of creating patterns and movements to create space and time. And I know that that sounds tactical, but it's not something anybody else is talking about. And that's kind of what I do in my own coaching is I focus on little things, little details, little minor things that mean the world once you repeat, rinse and repeat, and do it the right way. So creating space and time is really important. As long as Rubin Amorim is teaching our players how to do that, no rushing, and except for, if we're counterattacking and it's transitional, totally understand moving the ball as fast as possible. But if you watch Sporting play, if they go all the way up and they don't score, they actually don't mind circling it all the way back to the goalkeeper, stretching out the defense, and then working again. And that has to do with how you receive a ball, how you think, where your first touch is, how you turn your body and position your body, and how you send the pass to the next person. He's not the type of manager that wants anybody to touch the ball 3, 4, or 5 times before they send a pass. He would rather have them 1 touch it or 2 touch it. And you already saw that in those training videos. Nobody was touching the ball more than twice. They either sent it on the first touch or they settled it and then they passed it. And that was cool to see. And I'm very excited by that. Okay, thanks for being with me this long. We're about to move on to the next subject. But before we do that, a word from my sponsor. No one sponsoring this video. I am nobody. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers yet. So if you like what I do, if you've watched my videos and you haven't clicked the subscribe button yet, shame on you. Shame on you, man. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know you like what I'm doing. Leave a comment down below. Let's get more people involved. YouTube does not share my video with more than 3,000 or 4,000 impressions per video that I post. When I go on to YouTube analytics and I look at how many people did YouTube even give a chance to click on my video for, like the last video, 3.2K. So 3,200 people are the only people who saw my thumbnail pop up. Guys, your likes mean the world to me. If I can get this video to get 50 likes or more, YouTube will probably share it with 5,000 people. I know it doesn't sound like a lot because it's not a lot. But if it shares it with 5,000 people, maybe we'll get 5 or 10 new subscribers off this video. So please click the like or subscribe button and I'll stop bugging you. Thank you very much. All right, next topic, transfers. What I want to talk about is these stories coming out. Like, even though we got stories saying that we're not going to spend any transfer money, okay. Even though we're getting those stories, we got stories coming out that say Manchester United are very interested in their dream left wing back would be Alphonso Davies. To get him would be a dream for Manchester United. I agree. I've been saying this forever, and I know you're probably sick of hearing me say it, but Alphonso Davies would be a dream left wing back. This guy's a killer, man. I get to watch him all the time because I am in North America, so I get to watch a lot of Canada games too. Before you even knew who Alphonso Davies was for most of you European guys, when he was playing in the MLS, I already knew who Alphonso Davies was. The guy is the speed demon, and he's got a decent touch, and he's just fun to watch. He's exciting. He's very explosive. And he's only 24 or 25 years old. So he's amazing. Like, it's the perfect age, perfect price because he's free. So all we have to do is convince him to come. We got to talk to his manager. We have to talk to him. We have to sweeten the deal and pay up like a signing bonus better than Real Madrid's and give him really high wages. Believe me, if you had to pay for the player, you would have paid 50 or 60 million for him anyways. He's free. So give him a 15 million bonus just for signing and then give him 240,000 pounds a week, because it's still cheaper than buying his caliber of player for 50 or 60 million. I hope we do it. I hope we pull it off. I hope Dan Ashworth, Omar Barada pull another Lenny Euro out of their bag and sign Alphonso Davies for next summer. The other story we're hearing about is Jarrad Branthwaite and how we might be able to lock him down this January. That would be great because we need center backs. We need center backs of Branthwaite's caliber. I am not somebody who's a big believer in how good Branthwaite is. I wanted Lenny Euro over the summer, and that's who we got, and I'm ecstatic with that. So if it was down to Jarrad Branthwaite or Lenny Euro, I wanted Lenny Euro, and I'm glad we got him. But now that we have him, I wouldn't mind getting a Jarrad Branthwaite on the other side. Lenny Euro, right center back, Jarrad Branthwaite, left center back, and then someone in the middle. Matthijs de Ligt, I guess, or Martinez. Either way, I'm happy. And even if Martinez wants to play on the left and Jarrad plays in the middle, I'm good with that too. But I think Jarrad fits the left better than Martinez. He covers more ground than Martinez, believe it or not. But Martinez is the better one-on-one defender. It doesn't matter. They both have a decent left foot. Either way, we need the center backs. There's going to be 3 of them playing every single game. And you know our luck. We always have injuries in the center back position. We're always out of center backs, and we're always fielding center backs like Johnny Evans, who I love him to death, and he's great. But honestly, like, it's time that we don't have a Johnny Evans starting for Manchester United. Thank you for your service. I appreciate you. I love you. But really, Johnny Evans should be playing like cup games, and that's about it. And now we're having to depend on him on league fixtures that we just shouldn't be doing that. We just shouldn't be in that position. So, Jarrad Branthwaite may be a signing in January. I hope it happens. But if it doesn't happen, I hope it happens in the summer because he's a caliber player I would like in, but I wouldn't want to pay $70 million for him, especially if we're trying to be tight budgeted. If you can't get him, then get somebody else. And I'm not going to sit here and make a video about who else we can get. You guys all know the regular names: Ignacio, the guy from Crystal Palace. I forgot his name, but he's not playing that well. I'd rather have Ignacio. But yeah. So last but not least, the story that shocked me, and the dude scored a goal today, which to you guys is yesterday. The dude scored a goal on Tuesday, I'll say. And his celebration, he was trying to do the Trump dance, and he did something like this when the Trump dance is like this. We all know the Trump dance is like this. I don't know why he did this. But anyway, Captain America, Cristian Pulisic. There's a rumor going around that Manchester United is very, very interested in signing Cristian Pulisic over this summer. Cristian Pulisic, for those of you who don't know his game or are not familiar with his game, is actually a very, very good footballer, guys. He's a very good footballer that can play between the lines in those little tight number 10 roles that Rubin Amorim wants. Like, he's better than Trincao, in my opinion. He's way better than Trincao and Goncalves, whatever his name is, Pedro Goncalves, whoever played at Sporting. He's way better than them. A lot of people say a lot of nice things about Rafael Leao on AC Milan. Rafael Leao is so good. Rafael Leao this, Rafael Leao that. And honestly, every time I watch an AC Milan game, and I do watch them because I enjoy watching AC Milan, Cristian Pulisic, 80% of the time, outshines Rafael Leao. Rafael, if we watch 10 AC Milan games, Cristian will have a better game than Leao 8 out of 10 times. Not saying Leao's having a bad game. It's just Cristian has been on it. He's been on fire this year. This year, more than any other year, Cristian has been on fire, and he's doing good things for Team USA too. I think the dude is juiced up, and not juiced up illegally. He's amped up. The dude is amped up, and he's got the World Cup around the corner in the United States, and he's excited. He's playing well. He's at that prime age where he should be hitting his prime. He's doing great things. So you guys let me know in the comments, would you like a Cristian Pulisic to sign for our club? Or am I just being biased because I'm American? But I think he's actually a good player, man. I think he's a good player. He's got a hard, strong work ethic. The guy's going to run for 60 or 70 minutes really hard, and then you're going to have to take him out because he's going to be tired because he runs so hard. But he is going to give you his whole heart and soul. He's not going to walk around like some of our players do sometimes. This guy's going to give you everything he's got. And he's talented, and he's good with both feet. He can play on the right, and he can play on the left, and he can play up the middle. He can play just about across the whole front line. I wouldn't play him as striker, but he can play like a false 9, and he can play on the right side of that 3 up front or the left side of the 3 up front. What do you guys think? Let me know. And he can whip in a good cross, by the way. The guy can whip in a good cross. Let me know in the comments. If you're not familiar with his game, though, do not leave a comment and say, I don't want him or whatever. You better be familiar with his game if you're going to leave a comment and tell me, I don't want him. Then at least make sure you've seen him play at least a half a dozen times. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for clicking on the thumbnail and coming to me again. If you haven't yet, drop a like, drop a subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you agree with, what you don't agree with. I forgot. I need to get to one more thing. Nicholas didn't agree with me when I said a comment on my last video, something about INEOS. The only thing INEOS has done is cost cutting. I guess I said something of that nature in the last video. I haven't gone back to watch the last video again to make sure I said exactly that phrase. I didn't mean it in that way, Nicholas, so I do apologize. If you think what I said was all they've done is that, I said they prioritize cost cutting is what I should have said if I didn't say that. They prioritize cost cutting. So I was very happy to see that they went after Rubin Amorim. I didn't say that it was a knee-jerk thing. I think you said that I said knee-jerk. I did not say that. I said that I'm surprised they went after Rubin Amorim because I thought they would go for Xavi Hernandez because he was cheaper or free. But I am very happy that they went after Rubin Amorim because I think Rubin is probably the better choice. I think the way he wants to play is a more pragmatic than Xavi Hernandez. I think to play the way Xavi wants to play, which is a little bit more total football, you would need a lot more talent in every single position on the field, which is something Erik ten Hag was probably going to try to do with the Ajax way, and then he said, forget it, we can't play that way, so we're not. And I think Rubin Amorim is the better and safer. Well, safer is probably not the right word, but he's definitely more pragmatic than a Xavi Hernandez. He's definitely willing to give up possession and only have possession 20% of the time, as he did against Man City in the Champions League. So he's definitely 100% more pragmatic. He's not looking to control every single game and have possession all the time. He's not looking for his players to interchange positions as much as a Barcelona would or an Ajax would. And I think he's the right choice. And I'm glad INEOS pulled the trigger, and I'm glad INEOS put in the money and did it. But I will still say that I feel like INEOS has their backs against the wall a little bit. Just like I said in that video, I don't know if the deadline is this summer or next summer, but I guarantee you it's not 3 summers from now. INEOS have a deadline to the Glazers where they have to make Champions League and they have to show more profits than when the Glazers didn't have them as partners. Why would I give shares to you if I own a company? I own a company and I let you buy shares. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm going to profit off those shares. You're going to give me money for those shares. But you're not buying most of the company. I still own more than you, but I'm giving you managerial control of the company. So I'm going to give you shares. I'm going to sell you shares that sure you're going to pay me for. But then I'm risking the value of the rest of my shares that I still hold that are still more than you hold. So I have another batch of shares that I'm holding in my hand here that are more than your shares, but I'm letting you control what happens to the value of those shares because I gave you managerial control and footballing control of this company. You better believe there's a clock on that. You're not going to get to gamble with my shares forever. So I bet you INEOS has a clock. Well, not bet you. It's already there. It's already in. You can read reports about it. There is definitely stipulations that says the Glazers can force INEOS to sell. And that's all I was saying, my friend Nicholas. So I agree with you. I agree that this wasn't a knee-jerk thing. I agree that they made a fantastic decision. And I agree that INEOS isn't just cost-cutting. And I'm sorry if I came off that way. But I also think that their backs are against the wall. They have to make good decisions, They have to make good decisions, and I think they did make a good decision. And this has to happen. This has to pay up. That's why I don't think there's any way that we're about to have a summer transfer window next summer where INEOS doesn't bring in players for Rubin Amorim. Next summer, for sure, if the Glazers don't pull the rug from underneath them, next summer is like the last summer they're going to have to fix this team so that they can finish in a Champions League spot next year for sure. They can't gamble it. They can't go, well, we're almost good enough to finish top 4. They've got to build this team to the point where they're like, okay, we should definitely finish top 4. And I don't think that they can look at this squad as is and think that right now because the Premier League has a lot of good teams these days. We've got more than 3 people that have squads as good as ours, right? So we could look at our team and think this team should definitely be top 6 right now, the way it's built. This squad is a top 6 squad. It could be top 4 if we have some games go our way. But they've got to build a team next summer. They got to bring in those 3 the 3 players we talked about, by the way, Alphonso Davies, Jarrad Branthwaite, Cristian Pulisic, I think would put us in that category of, okay, we should definitely finish in the top 4 if this manager knows what he's doing, right? Now, barring injury, don't get me wrong. If there's 5 injuries, that's just your shit out of luck. But barring injury, if you bring in 3 starters, adding to the squad that we presently have, so you bring in 3 players that are better in their positions than what we currently have, yeah, then you've got a pretty strong bench. But hey, we're going to lose some people over the summer too. I don't think Christian Eriksen's going to be there. And other than Christian Eriksen, there's at least Victor Lindelof, Johnny Evans. So, yeah, there's no way we're not signing anybody in the summer. I think we signed 5 or 6 in the summer. Three starters and then 3 backup players. I think we signed 5 or 6. Anyways, guys, leave it in the comments. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, Fat Thor. He's right there. Like I said, it's just my big head blocking him. Thank you, Fat Thor. Thank you for anybody who does leave comments, who does click the like button, who does subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye.